As I was saying, the fact that you're launching this anti-religious campaign and trying to compare the benefits of being atheist and making the religious life look like as something idiotic is in and of itself evidence that you are proselytizing people to the atheist life. So that in and of itself is wrong. You said it yourself, and I agree with you when you said it. Actions are more than belief. Actions speak louder than words. Don't say you're not about proselytizing. The very fact you're launching these campaigns, you are proselytizing. Were you to be more accepting of other people and not proselytizing the way you claim, videos like this would never have been placed by you. Let's be honest about it. Stop being a hypocrite, stop being a liar. You were saying that being an atheist lets you avoid lying. You're right. Now, you were also saying that heaven is a false hope. Prove it. I grant you, it cannot be proven to be true. That's an article of faith. Articles of faith can never be proven or disproven. And since it cannot be disproven, you cannot ever say that heaven is a false hope. You probably would be better off taking the Pascalian view, that heaven is a possibility, and since you don't know, you cannot, since you're not sure of it, you don't question it either. But to assure that it's a false hope, prove it. I challenge you. Now, you were talking about atheists being able to let people choose freely and letting their kids choose freely whether to be in religion or not. Ha! Does the name Michael Dowell mean anything? His daughter chose to abandon his atheistic lifestyle and to follow a religious lifestyle. He starts suing everybody and everything just because his daughter took the decision. So don't tell me atheists are willing to let their children choose for themselves. Now when it's obvious through Michael McDowell's way of doing things, you atheists are not willing to tolerate people questioning your so-called scientific principles. Which leads me on the next thing. You claim you don't force atheism. You do. In the schools you do. You're not letting intelligent design side by side with evolutionism and letting the students think for themselves. Don't tell me you're about letting people think for themselves. You're about censorship. You're censoring anything that's not atheistic, and then coming back with a mudslinging campaign denigrating religiosity. You're saying that you came across like saying that only atheists will accept kids for who they are. It's paternal nature. And every man and woman who is true to the true nature of humanity will love their kids for who they are. As a matter of fact, I'm rocking my kid to sleep right here. That's why you see me turning down frequently to look at how he is doing. We love them for who they are regardless. My mother is even a more devout Catholic than I am. My brother is an agnostic. Yet, she has not felt discouraged or anything. She is promoting she is respecting his ideas. Furthermore, she even reads books that go contrary to our faith, such as that lies that Dan Brown came up with his Da Vinci Code. She reads that. Nothing in our devoutness is keeping us from that because we are true religious people. We're not fanatics, and we just prove everything in your smear campaign wrong. Let's continue. True religion, the acts of good in true religion are not about pleasing God either. We believe that if you're doing it to please God, you are definitely not proving it because it's falling in vain. He will not focus on that. He will not focus on whether you're doing the actions to please him or not. He wants that, But that's not the reason why you do it. Oh, I'm going to give money to this person who's asking me for alms, so God will be happy with me. God doesn't work that way. He will not be pleased with you in that way. You do not buy God. He is not like salesman sitting behind the counter. You give me this much money and I'll grant you this. No, that's not being religious. That's not our belief as Christians or whatever, or as religious people. I help him out because I want to help him out. The Christianity reflected by Catholicism inspires me to do good. The lives of many godly people who have lived in the past inspire me to imitate and emulate their lives in the service of mankind. You were saying that marriage is stronger without the belief in a higher being? Prove it. I think society is proving you wrong. Divorces have increased since atheism has become more outspoken. Since atheism has become more outspoken, society is getting greedier. Me. If my marriage to so and so does not please me the way I want, I divorce him. If she doesn't satisfy me, then I divorce her. That does not sound like a stronger marriage to me. On the contrary, those of us who are really religious and end up getting married, we end up sticking to our religious life, our religious beliefs. As married people, our marriages are stronger because we believe strongly that divorce is a sin. And there are those of us who believe also in the parts of the Bible where it says we don't just limit ourselves to what, as you claim, to the part that says the woman is supposed to be subject to the man. If you read carefully, it also goes on further. Men, love your wives as Christ himself has loved his church and has laid his life down for it. What sounds more like a stronger marriage to you? A marriage that divorces quickly for just any picky reason, or a marriage where the husband is willing to die for his wife? What would sound stronger to you? Furthermore, even the Bible says, do not let the sun set on your anger. A marriage that follows strict guidelines for couples, as it is in the book of Proverbs and many other parts of the Bible, would be stronger. If you are angry with your wife and end up making up with her before the night is over, before the day is over, your marriage is going to be stronger. You are obviously talking about somebody who doesn't even know what the Bible actually says. Another area that you discussed, magical being of the universe. You're saying that we are being. You made a few accusations of us should not be attributing creation to a magical being. A creator is not a magical being, no matter what religion you are, because magic to the esoteric people is meant to be manipulated. A creator, a divine being, a divinity, is not to be manipulated no matter what religion you're in. You pointed out in an argument with wolves in another video. If there's a carcass of a deer and there are wolf tracks, and then there's wolf vomit with evidence of deer blood in it, then there's evidence that the deer was hunted and killed by a deer. True. If I have a watch, does that mean the watch came by itself? No, it's evidence that somebody made it, and it's evidence that I went out and bought it, or that at least somebody bought it and gave it to me. Either way. If I see a motor laying down in the street, it is safe to conclude that somebody was driving a clickety-cluck kind of car and the motor fell, or that somebody got in the car accident where the motor fell off the car, as could happen if the mounts of the car or the motor are failing. You do not automatically conclude